All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out. Well, thanks for dialing in. I guess you just stayed where you are. So we're just going to talk a little bit about LinkedIn, various aspects of LinkedIn today. But first, a couple announcements. The Melissa Pellegrin scholarship application deadline is today at 5 p.m. So actually, if you want to do that, leave and do that. Otherwise, you might miss that, but hopefully you got that in. It's $1,000, and that could be very helpful. So also the mentorship program kickoff meeting is this Tuesday, the 10th at 6:30 p.m. And if you need any more information about either the Melissa Pellegrin scholarship or the mentorship program kickoff meeting, just let us know. We'll send you whatever information you need. So as a general introduction, John, what did we want to talk about for the general introduction?
Yeah, I guess just an overview of what we have going on today, which is our LinkedIn Spectacular. We're going to be showing off all different kinds of things about great LinkedIn profile, how to search for jobs, all the features of the website. It's a great professional tool.
Awesome. Yeah, and just to start off, just a couple quick facts about LinkedIn. There are 645 million self-reported LinkedIn users worldwide, 58 million of those being in the United States. So this is the largest platform in the world for job seekers, employers, and recruiters. I like to think of it as kind of Facebook, professional Facebook, for the professional that you want to be. There's an old saying that you should dress for the job you want. And the same principle applies to LinkedIn. Build a profile for the career you want. Use LinkedIn to kind of represent your professional identity, your own brand, really. And that may not be something that you've established yet, but it's something that you'll come hopefully to build and figure out as you go along. And LinkedIn is an excellent tool to do that. I'm gonna share my screen once I remember how to do that. And I will in due time. There we go. Can you all see that?
Sure.
All right, so obviously one of the most important things, one of the first things you see when you come into the profile is that headshot. So it's very, very important that you have that set up and you have something professional. First impressions are extremely important. So you don't want to have anything, beach pics, drinking, disheveled, too far away to see your face, or it's going to turn off a lot of people. So make sure you're just professionally dressed, clearly showing your face. Generally, I think it's best to be smiling or just real sober, but looking very professional, that kind of thing. One idea as well is to just consider trying to dress how people in your target industry dress. So that's a good way to kind of match up with that, dress for the job you want. And another thing that could be very useful to students is UCF often has different events, sometimes career fairs and such, where you can get free headshots taken, or sometimes you can get those through student groups like the FTC. So that's something to keep an eye out for, because it can be a really, really nice thing to have. It's just a professional headshot like this one that I have here. So you can also do a background photo. It can be good, something to add a little personality, to kind of represent you or your current situation. You could even put, UCF logo or a picture of the campus, something tasteful to just kind of represent where you're at. If you're employed, you could, put a photo of your company logo or, a picture of the workplace if that's allowed. I personally chose a picture of a scene from a nature trip. This is the Grand Tetons in Wyoming. But I feel like that's a little more up for, kind of more personality. But that's another way to kind of get across that first impression. So here you can have, you can either put your job title. A lot of people put kind of a headline. So it can be just something you can call yourself just UCF student in technical communication, or you can put a headline, just kind of a short sentence that kind of defines what you aim to do. I make things more efficient, or, I make documents work, something like that. It can be a good way to just kind of get yourself across very quickly, very, very briefly, to prospective employers. As well, the About section is an excellent spot to just, it's almost like an even briefer elevator pitch. So instead of a minute, it's just boom, this is who I am, this is where I'm from, this is what I've done, this is what I want to do, done. It's best not to write a novel. Recruiters, potential employers are busy people, so they don't want to read a ton of information, and it can be a bit daunting anyway. So it's just something very quick to give people a good idea of who you are, a little more detailed than what you have above, and just kind of give them a little more detail. All right. Now, featured down here, I haven't actually added to this section, but you can throw in some of your posts, documents, things that you've worked on that can really give people a better idea of what you're capable of, what you've done in the past. So it kind of makes LinkedIn almost sort of an e-portfolio, really. This is a really neat feature that I didn't actually know exists until recently, which is why mine is empty at the moment. But I do recommend, as you work on different projects, as you perfect things, this can be a really, really great feature to throw those in and let people know what you're capable of. The experience portion and the education portion, it's almost, this is kind of the resume portion of your LinkedIn account. So you can just throw in all this information. Don't forget, where you're currently getting your education, make sure to throw that in, and just, this is, I guess, the details of each of your positions is something to work on, I guess, separately from this particular presentation. But as you go through, you'll, as you fill that out, and you don't have to do it all at once. It's something you can do kind of piecemeal to make it easier. But that also gives employers a great idea of what you're capable of. And then licenses and certifications. So these two here, I actually got through LinkedIn Learning, which we're going to talk about shortly. And these were automatic. I know I did the courses through LinkedIn Learning, which is free through UCF, and now I have these on my account, which is really nice. And aside from that, you have skills and endorsements, which Caitlin is going to be talking about momentarily, the skills, I believe. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Another really neat thing is accomplishments. So I had one essay published through Convergence Rhetoric here at UCF, and now I have that here in my accomplishments as a publication. So that's a neat way to kind of expand on what you're going to see, because you're not going to see that up here in your experience, in your education. So this is another addition to show what you've done. I guess you could also show that in your featured, but having it specifically published stands out separately. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Caitlin, do you want to talk some about the LinkedIn skills test?
Sure.
Let me stop sharing.
All right, let's get this up. Wow, I just realized how many tabs I have open. Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So the skills should be right below your education and experiences section. As you can see, I'm kind of still reworking my thing at the moment. But with the skills and endorsements, obviously, I would suggest that you try to fill out some basic things. Just click some things that you think that you might have. Like, it'll give some basic suggestions from the get-go for you. You don't you can click whatever you want and it'll put it on there. But if you like say I want to put technical writing, I can click add and it will pop up. But you can put whatever you want. The thing is, obviously, if you get a, if you can, sometimes people with some of your, what do you call them? The people you're linked to, especially if they have names, that if you can ask them to endorse a skill for you, like I have this here with Professor Applin was kind enough to give me the endorsement for the leadership skill and stuff, especially soft skills. You really want this, like leadership, research, project management. You want to see if you can get somebody to endorse these because there's no test to prove. But for the skills that are hard skills, like things like HTML or CSS, you can take a skills test. Now then, I want to give you a warning right now with the skills test. If you fail them, you will not be able to retake it for 3 months. But it will let you take a practice quiz on these things. So you're going to want to look at these things very carefully because they're kind of tricky. Because they're really testing to see if you're an expert or not. Like, don't take one of these unless you're like, you feel like you can do it in your sleep. And the practices, let's just do one real fast because they're pretty quick, but also it'll help you to get an idea of what you're getting into. And I would suggest before you take any skills test on no matter how skilled you think you are with something, check how they ask the questions because they can get pretty complicated. So as you can see, sometimes the questions are pretty short. I've seen on the HTML test, they are stupidly long, like it's straight up a whole paragraph. I'm just going to click a random answer because I want to show you that these things, they don't, at least a few times I've tried it. I don't know if they changed it because it's been a few days. And honestly, I have no idea what they're doing sometimes. But they won't tell you whether or not you actually get the questions right, which is kind of infuriating. Like it just says practice completed. So you want to be very, very careful because the practice just shows you what kind of questions you're going to get. It does not tell you whether or not you're doing it right. So make sure you know what you're doing before you get started. But definitely try to use these. But like James said, obviously one of the easiest ways to get skills added is to use the LinkedIn Learning so that it will add it for you because presumably once you finish a course in that, you should be able to handle these things. But if you think that you're ready to add some skills and you think you can pass the test yourself, by all means, go for it. It'll look really good. And having LinkedIn saying, yeah, we endorse this, that this person knows what they're doing, looks really good too. Employers. So I think that's about all I have right at the moment. So I believe that leads us to Claire talking about LinkedIn postings.
Hello, everybody. I am going to screen share now. Caitlin, if you could take yours off, pretty please. Perfect, thank you.
I love that your cat can make a cameo.
I gotta move you guys so I can get out of the opposite chat.
Oh no, the secret meme chat.
I know, cat, get out of the way. I'm just gonna get out of that. Anyways, hello, welcome to my LinkedIn profile. So a lot of, we're gonna put you down. So a lot of the LinkedIn format, from what I can tell, kind of mirrors the way Facebook is. And I'm assuming everybody here has used Facebook at some point in time because, you know, that's the connectivity to everything nowadays. So you might be asking yourself, what do I post on LinkedIn? How do I post? What's the point? And at the beginning of the meeting, James had mentioned that there are millions of people on this format, and by posting, you're connecting to these, not millions of people after you've made the connections, but you're opening up that opportunity for yourself. So there are different things that you can post, and there's no one way to do this right. Your LinkedIn page is going to be what you want to make of it, with who you want to connect, what kind of field you're going into. So I myself am a technical communication English major, so maybe I would want to post some original research I found, because my personal passions include international technical communication. So I might be wanting to show everybody that visits my page, hey, I have these thoughts and ideas, and I'd really like for you to comment on it. Please read what I've researched. And that's something I could post. We're going to go to this home page here, and it is at the very top of your screen right here when you get to the home page. So it's inviting you, hey, share something, connect with the world. And then the article kind of thing I was talking about was, if you click there, it gives you the option to add a little picture, headline, whatever research you had, or you also have the option to do an event. So say I was the president of the FTC or something, and I wanted to create the event for all of you guys to come to my meeting. So I could just type in all the details for the meeting, and it's not a hard system. It walks you through it pretty easily. It wants you to use it, and it wants you to have the capability of using it. So we're not going into that. But if you guys can tell, it's pretty straightforward. I would also love to invite you guys to come to my page at the end here. I want to create a poll for you. So I can actually do that right now and walk you through it. So it gives you these cute little options at the bottom. And I want to create a poll because I want to connect with my community of people. So my question, did you find the FTC, UCF, LinkedIn meeting beneficial? I'm just going to talk through it because I'm a little nervous. So option one, yes, you did find it useful. Or no, you didn't. So I'm going to leave this up for a week. Done with that. And then I have the capability of writing a little thing up here. So say we're going through this meeting and you guys are like, wow, these people don't know what they're talking about, but I can help them in some way. It's kind of what LinkedIn is for, right? Like, you want to help your community. You want to get involved in everything. So we can add hashtags, future, interesting. So hashtag FTC, hashtag UCF, hashtag, am I wrong for calling it a hashtag? Should I call it a £? It's definitely a hashtag. We're going to move on from that conversation. So these hashtags are going to let me connect to more people, and I'm going to click post. So by posting that, I give you all the capability to comment and interact. And that's kind of all there is to posting. Like I said, it's pretty straightforward and mirrors the Facebook format. So you guys should definitely get to making some connections and posting and all of that good nonsense. So I am going to go ahead and turn it over to our next presenter. Or was I the last one?
Yeah, that's me. I'm up.
Wonderful. Well, good luck, James. Godspeed.
Oh, thanks. Let me reshare. Okay. So I've talked a bit about LinkedIn Learning in the past. I'm pretty excited about it, although I've been neglecting my LinkedIn Learning for the last too long because I've been doom scrolling political stuff lately. So LinkedIn Learning is awesome. So this is available for free to all UCF students. And while you have it for free, you should definitely take advantage of it. So basically, almost anything that you want to learn about, a potential skill, for your career, you can find through here. So just browsing through, I mean, customer service, marketing, project management, sales. Some of these are program skills. Some of these are people skills. Some of these are just organizational skills. To try, to better organize, just your paperwork, your homework, just to get a better grasp on things. These can be super, super useful. And these are just business. There are creative courses in here. So things for animation, audio, graphic design, super useful for technical writing as well. Web design, super useful. There's I'm not going to say endless, but nearly endless, I feel like, opportunities for you to learn these programs. And they don't take a super long amount of time. You can do these, just, maybe one chapter at a time. You could do one chapter a night. Something like that, one chapter or a few chapters a night if you're feeling more ambitious. And this is something that, even if you're busy during the semester, you can do it between semesters. You can do it during summer break. Just take a few days and get something, get another skill under your belt, because it looks great on the resume, looks great on your LinkedIn account. There are some programs that are difficult to get experience in as a student. Like, for instance, all of the Adobe Cloud applications, now I'm drawing a blank, Photoshop, all those different programs are super, super expensive, but they often have 7-day trials that you can use. In 7 days, you can complete, the essentials course through LinkedIn Learning. You can throw that on your resume, you can throw that on your LinkedIn profile, and it looks great. Another neat aspect of LinkedIn Learning is in your own learning section, you have very easily organized, you have what you've been working on, different things you can save different courses or videos as you find them, so you can easily find them in the future, put together different collections of related skills. Apparently, if you are working somewhere and wherever you work suggests something for you through LinkedIn Learning, you can organize that here. And then the things that you've added to your profile as a result of finishing courses can be added through here. So really, I can't stress enough how beneficial this can be to you. It can really help you out professionally, and I do hope you guys take advantage of it. So that's all I got. I was just going to blather on forever about LinkedIn Learning. So. Back to you, John.
Alrighty, and no, honestly, LinkedIn Learning is great. And I still got to get started on using it. I'm sure it's just from what you're saying, you're advertising it to me. LinkedIn Learning sponsor us, we're happy to. Yeah, I'll start sharing my screen and talk about looking for jobs in the job search. Okay, can you guys see it?
Yep.
Awesome. So I'm just going to be talking about the job search, and LinkedIn has a really comprehensive and just effective tool for just looking for jobs. A lot of different companies, almost anyone you could think of, has job openings posted on the site. There's a lot of customization in your searches. You can be as specific as you want. You can look specifically for details such as salary, pay, position, area. So LinkedIn is a really great tool, whether you're looking for a job, internship, or really anything where you just want to put your skills to the test or to use in these companies. So to start off, there's some tips for job searching. And the first one is just considering, what do you want in a job? It's a simple question, but it's a good one to just ask yourself before you start on your search, because you should have a goal before you get into it. Rather than just thinking, I want a job, any job, or I'm not sure what I want, you can say, oh, I want a summer job, I want an internship, I want part-time, full-time, especially because LinkedIn offers those narrow choices where you can just go into something and look for exactly what you want. So for example, if you're looking for an internship, think, okay, I want a tech writing internship, and then just dig deeper. Like, I want a tech writing internship in a specific field or in a specific place. Uh, but practically, once you get that idea of what you want to search for, then LinkedIn is there for you. And uh, especially another tip, specifically for TechCom, is that TechCom is very versatile. And LinkedIn accommodates for that very well, because if you just put in tech writer, I'll look for it now, for example, you'll find that tech writers fit in almost everywhere. You can find some in just finance companies, in places like Uber. That's news to me. Pretty much if anywhere has a website, they could use a tech writer. Um, just law firms, computer science places, or computer science industries. Um, just a lot of places you can think of. If they do business writing, if they need editors, if they need content creators, someone for their website, anything you can think of that fits into either the technical side or the writing side, you can find a good job there. So that's the good thing about being a technical communicator. The field is very open for you, and the searches really just reveal that, allow the openness. Um, Another tip I give is to just apply for several jobs, and don't be afraid to branch out, because just as a tech communicator, you never know where you might end up. And just the more and more professionals I've talked to, they say how they got into the job was just because they were looking for a tech composition, and even though they were in a place that they didn't expect, maybe it was with an insurance company or something like that, they just gave it a try and they learned on the job, and it ended up being a great fit for them. So just don't be afraid to try whatever pops up on the list, as long as it fits your desire of being a tech communicator, you have the skills for it, so on and so forth. Um, and of course, just getting out of your comfort zone too. And applying for several is better than just applying for one, usually, because if you just apply for one position, you never know if that one doesn't work out, and then you're back to square one. It's a good idea to just have a few in mind or saved, just so that when you apply, you have an idea of, okay, I might get for one of these, or I have a greater chance, instead of one by one, which can take forever. Um, and it's perfectly fine to say no to if you get accepted to multiple jobs. In any case, that's the best problem to have if you put yourself out there so much that you have all those options. So uh, LinkedIn, if anything, is a platform for just putting yourself out there. The job search is just a practice that wants you to put yourself out there. And the more you exert yourself, the more you get out of it. But to move on from the general tips, I want to move on to the specifics about LinkedIn search capabilities. So to just click on one, like I already clicked on, here's an example of what you'll find when you click on a job in LinkedIn. You'll find all the information you need, such as what the company is, how early it was posted, the requirements you might need. Most companies post in their description directly the qualifications, like Uber, for example. Being a tech writer, you'll work closely with the engineers to produce high quality technical documentation, and then the qualifications tells you all right here. So that is a surefire way of being uh, just telling yourself, do I want to apply here? Can I apply here? And so on and so forth. And also, some places, on top of requirements, it shows you alumni from your school, that being UCF, that work here. And you can just see like 16 alumni work here, 73 work here, and a couple people that I know, for example, if you have connections that work in a certain place, you can look into that. Opens up some good networking opportunities. And another reason why this networking is just important to do on LinkedIn. You get to know what places are good, what places have people gone to. That credibility factor, because you do want to be in a job that's not just paying well or not just fits being a tech writer, but a place that's credible. So be on the lookout for little tips like that. But on top of that, this is a perfect example. The application system itself. So once you figure out all the details you need, so on and so forth, you'll either have a place that says simply apply, or you'll have easy apply. I'll jump into just a simple apply first of all. So in that case, you click on that. Sometimes it says share your profile, and I recommend doing that because that way all networking is good networking on LinkedIn. So you do that. I won't do it for now because just testing this out. I wouldn't want them to suddenly just hop out at me. But you get taken to their website, and on their website is often the actual application page, and LinkedIn is more of just the vehicle that takes you there. So that is straightforward. And on the other hand, easy apply, those, when you find those, they make your life so easy, as the name implies. You click on that, and as long as your LinkedIn profile is set up, you have your information, you just keep on going. Put in your info, it fills them out automatically for you. Oh, okay. I thought it was saying Miami wasn't valid. Didn't like Miami. I'd understand. Then you can put in a resume, cover letter. It basically just takes you through the steps right here, so you don't have to worry about a website that asks you to put in lots of attachments through different places or email them separate things. Everything done in LinkedIn with the easy apply button. And it gets you done in just about a couple minutes. That's it. And after that, you just wait for the response. Yeah, and finally is just saving job. Just save another one, for example. And especially if you're looking for a lot, it makes it super easy on that front because you can always just walk away. Oh, there's Claire's thing. Yes. Did you find it beneficial? I don't know. You guys can answer. She put it in the chat and her profile. Jobs. Once you save a job, you can click on My Jobs, and it'll show you the ones you saved right here. So all the more encouragement to just apply for a ton, or just at least keep a lookout for a ton, because you never know if one of those ends up being one you think back on, like, oh, I do want to apply there, or I have the qualifications, I'll go and do the application now. And now just for the rest of the features here, some pretty straightforward ones. Job alerts. Click on that, get notified about new jobs. Once you filled in your profile, it'll identify what things are good for you, such as if you put you're interested in graphic design or you're skilled at it, it'll recommend some of those things to you. So yeah, when you click that, send the push notifications, the notifications right here on LinkedIn. Really great thing to have if you're currently on the job search. And salary is another one that I recently found out about. It's good if you're looking for just how much money each industry makes or each profession, even within TechCom. You can look up by specific job title, by location. You can even be, what's it like being a TechCom or a tech writer in Miami versus a tech writer in California, for example. How much money do each make? Can be different, varying on the place. So that's a good one if you're looking for long-term earning potential. And these two last ones I'll be going over. Interview prep is another great one because it just shows you lots of practice interview questions that are really useful if you're just going ahead and you want some practice material before you go in. And a lot of times it's easy for someone to struggle with not knowing what to expect when they get into an interview. And that's common. It can be a stressful task and you never know what kind of questions there are. But this part of the jobs website is set up to help alleviate that. It gives you a lot of examples, such as the common one, tell me about yourself. And already, what do I say? But you can put in a practice response right here, practice and get feedback. It gives you some tips right here. And the interesting thing about this is you can either record a video about yourself or write a response. And in each case, you can get practically immediate feedback based on an AI that just practices, or it takes in what you give it and gives you immediate responses. Either that, or you can have a connection that you know review things for you. So if I put tell me about yourself, I'll put my name is John. Don't put that, they'll fire you because they're like, this guy only, of course I know that. So I can put that, request feedback. just put in someone's name or just see who comes up. Oh yeah, look, some familiar faces. So for example, if I wanted someone to review that, I just click on their connection here, send them a message like, oh, I'll be applying for a job. Could you look at my response for me? See if this is something good to say. And they'll do that for you. But yeah, the interview prep is a really great tool in there. And Resume Builder is the last one that I want to look over, which is it puts together a resume for you. And I'm gonna just show you that live because it's a really simple process. Let's go to new resume, and pretty much that's it. I just made a resume. That's the step. All you have to do is put in your profile information, like James was talking about earlier, and it just comes up with a resume for you right here and there. I have some FTC stuff, I have some stuff from past jobs, some skills, and so on. And it just puts it all together. And if you want to compile it into a PDF that you want to send people, for example, go to More, download as PDF, and there you go. Quick and easy resume. And of course, you can always change the info, format it, either through LinkedIn or after you download it. But if you're looking for a good starter, resume with all your information after you've done LinkedIn information, look at more than that. It only took 2 clicks after I put in the profile info from previously. So I know it kind of went on for a bit, but the job search is a really comprehensive tool in LinkedIn, and there was a lot to share within it. And just take a look around. Even if you're not looking for a job now, you can look into things like the resume builder or interview prep. And if you are looking for a job, just type in any specific things you want to look for. It'll likely find you some very interesting jobs and just help you in that search. Yeah, that is about it for just talking about the job search. And next up is just a little activity we can do, which is making connections among ourselves. Because as we were all talking about, making connections on LinkedIn is super just worthwhile. It's important to just have that network built. So it'd be a good thing to just close out this meeting with sharing our own profiles, getting connected. So I'm gonna stop the screen share real quick. But yeah, if anybody has their profile available, you could just drop it in the Zoom chat, start getting connected, and see that connection number rise. I'll be posting mine. Right, I see yours, James. Here's mine. Right, cool, cool. So yeah, glad you enjoyed it, Simon. Let's start making those connections. I don't think I have either of you, Nancy or Simon, so doing that now. Boom, connection. Boom, connection. Yeah, anybody else who wants to post theirs? Okay. If not for now, last thing I want to mention is we are going to be putting open a LinkedIn channel on our Discord server. So in case we can repost ours there, and anybody can be free to post their own links in there just to grow our network. So keep a lookout on that Discord channel so we can just keep on making those connections. But that's about it from me. So I'll pass it back over to you, James.
All right, thank you, John. That was an awesome overview. It's a lot of information, so that was really good. Well, stuff I actually didn't know, so awesome. Yeah, so that's that. I guess we can open the floor up to any questions anybody might have. If anybody is interested about a particular aspect of LinkedIn or about making a connection or anything, just feel free to type it in the chat or ask directly. I don't know if any one of us, Claire, Caitlin, Sky, if anybody else has anything else that they wanted to chip in. I don't know if you overlooked it or not.
Y'all
But
were great. Your presentations are great.
awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's been a nice little meeting.
Yeah,
Hopefully you guys all found it useful and informative. Came out knowing a little bit more than you did before, and I'm hoping you guys take advantage of LinkedIn. It's so useful with so many different aspects that can really help you get started in your career and keep going in your career. So, well, thanks, Anna. I'm glad you liked it. Awesome. All right. Well, if anybody if you guys think of any questions, after the meeting, feel free to message anybody, any one of us. Connect with us on LinkedIn, send us a message there, or email us, or hit us up through the Discord channel, or show up at our doorstep and knock. I mean, as long as you're wearing a mask, that's fine. Yeah, so glad you guys came out again. Have an awesome, what's today? Have an awesome weekend. And yeah, we'll see you next time, I guess.